One of the really effective tools that Burp Suite has is something that's called the Intruder. Now, the Intruder we would use to do a number of different things, and let's just pick something up here, and we're going to see, actually let me go back to the scanner and see this SQL injection thing that we thought that we had seen. So now I'm going to go back to the target. I'm going to select the request that I want to play around with. So that was just the root page of the directory dvwa, and I'm going to send this to the Intruder. So it's going to populate this tab over here with the Intruder, and here I've got my target and my port, and now we've got some positions here. What I think I want to do here is let's just do a sniper attack. You can see I've got a number of different types of attacks, and these have to do with the number of payloads that you've got and the different types of payloads that we have. Actually, this isn't going to be the right request here, so let me go and let's just send this one in instead. So we're going to send this into the Intruder, and now I can go over to my positions. We can actually do some work with this particular request. I'm going to select these. These are actually variables or something that Burp Suite has flagged as being potential variables that we may want to do some playing with. So I'm going to undo that one, and I'm going to undo this one here. We're going to leave this one alone. So now I can go over to my payloads, and I've only got one payload set, which is this position right here. We flagged this as a payload. And now I'm going to choose a simple list, although you can see I've got a number of different payload types that I've got. And from the list here, I'm going to go down to doing fuzzing with SQL injection. This is what's actually going to be set into this particular field right here, is all of these results. It's going to go iterating through all of these, and we'll see what we actually get once we have run through all of these. So this is a number of SQL injection attacks, and we can go and run this now. So I'm going to go up to the Intruder tab. I'm going to say Start Attack, and it's going to pop up this other box here. And let me open this up a little bit more so we can see what's going on. So we're getting status 302. This is, again, is the request, and let's take a look at the response. It says 302 found, but it doesn't appear to have actually given us any data here. So it doesn't look like we actually had any success doing any of these types of attacks. We're getting 302s. The length is the same. If I had seen a different length, then I might be inclined to take a look at something a little bit further, but this length of 372 for all of them suggests to me that we didn't actually get much of anything back. So I can actually close this down now. Let's take a look at some of the other lists that Burp Suite comes with built into it. Now, there are lists, of course, you can create all on your own. You can add a new item right here and just click Add, and you can create your own list, and you can certainly do that. But we've got some quick fuzzing, full fuzzing, we've got usernames and passwords. So if I wanted to try a brute force of a username and password, I could actually do that from here. So I could select usernames, and I didn't actually clear these out. So I've got these usernames at the end of my list here. So that's a way that you could actually try to brute force usernames and passwords. I could also just do an A to Z list, and at the end here we should see A to Z. So that's something else I could do. Now, if I were to go up above, I could do something like a character substitution. So in addition to these lists here, let's do short words, for example. We're going to do this substitution on all of these. So for A, we're going to substitute a 4, for B, an 8, and so on and so forth. I can also do some different payload processing. Like I could do a match replace, for example. So if I were to see something like foo, I could replace it with wobble, just as an example. I can do a reverse of a substring from, let's say, 0 to 8. We could just reverse everything that we had. I could modify the case to everything being lowercase, to proper name, or to proper name this way, where we've got uppercase here. This is kind of sometimes called camel case, where it kind of looks like this. So there are a number of different ways that you can do payload processing, and you can create payloads with the Intruder. It opens up a lot of doors for doing a lot of exploring with web applications and seeing what kinds of vulnerabilities you can turn up using this Intruder capability that Burp Suite has.